Nigerians are living dangerously on keg of gunpowder through your poor policies, Obasanjo knocks President Tinubu. Former Nigerian President Olusegun Obasanjo has scolded the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu-led Nigerian government. He says Nigerians are now living dangerously on a keg of gunpowder through policies, poorly and thoughtlessly implemented, or bad policy and no policy at all. He stated this in Abuja while giving the keynote address at the public presentation of the book titled Reclaiming the Jewel of Africa, written by former Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, who also served as Minister of Finance, Olusegun Aganga. The former President Obasanjo said, "Over the last 63 years, we have not lived up to expectations. We have disappointed ourselves. We have disappointed Africa. We have disappointed ourselves and we have disappointed Africa. We have disappointed the black race and we have disappointed the world." He added that what Segun Aganga has tried to identify, itemize, and recommend in his book is the way forward. But the beginning of charting a new course for ourselves is to admit our failure because we have not always put the round peg in the round hole. I don't know what the problem is. Everyone keeps saying the same thing, identifying the problem. You can even go to a 5-year-old and they'll tell you how shit Nigeria is. So it's not a thing where we don't identify what the problem is. We just have not been organized and planned enough to make a plan and implement it. Because if we thought like that, we would then ask the right questions. What do we want Nigeria to be? Because at this point, we need some of the vision. Because that's what Nigeria basically needs. Because then the vision basically has to be good enough to make Nigerians unite and actually want to work towards it. Not that they are directly doing the work, but you get what I mean. We are carried along by ego and emotion of selfishness and self-centeredness, ethnic and religious jingoism. We have a total lack of understanding of the world we live in and gross misunderstanding of what development entails and how to move fast and continuously on the trajectory of development. You know what, I'm actually tired, personally, because it proves that Obasanjo can say and shout from beginning to the end and nothing will happen. He's just an elder statesman. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but that's just all he is. He's not in government, right? And so trying to create the illusion that, he scolded Tinubu, like as if Tinubu is going to be like, okay, yes, sir, let me do what you're doing. I highly doubt Tinubu gives an absolute crap or toss what Obasanjo has to say. And let's be honest, what Obasanjo can do is basically give advice. But will it be taken? No. And what Obasanjo is saying is not new. We're just trying to, what's the word? It's like we're trying to, what's the intellectualize our problems? Yes, that's what it is. Because you intellectualize it, because you can analyze it, because you know what Nigeria's problem is, you can itemize it, you can break it down, you can, in fact, even draw a graph. Does not mean you're tackling the issue. And so when all these events, it doesn't have to be Obasanjo, it can be any other person. It could be the launch of a book, it could be the anniversary of this Oba, it could be this, it could be anything. What you have is Nigerians or these other statesmen and leaders who have some sort of influence just intellectualizing our problems, and we're all clapping like, oh my god, haha, you said what we already know, you said it in a more beautiful, smart, academically beautiful way. That's what it is. But there's no plan on what to do, and even if there is, they are not in government to implement it, so all they can do is technically suggest and advise. So what happens then? Let's look at the comment section, especially as people are actually coming for Obasanjo. You had a very good opportunity to fix Nigeria. Instead, you made politician allowance attractive and humongous, which is one of our problems. Interesting. those who are at the receiving end of excruciating policies are the ones that will turn mere words into admonishment to a subject of unwarranted bashing of the former president at a period when our voices must be loud towards sustaining criticisms on what those who are in power now are doing. But the thing is, you don't know the present if you don't look at the past. You cannot just say, oh, let's focus on what's happening now, because the root of all our problems, the fact that our foreign reserves are down, the economics and the financials and the transactions of the country cannot be traced, is a problem. It's like you want to start from scratch and forget the past, and let's just even start now and fix our problems. But you'll encounter a problem that forces you to go back to the past, because moving forward will not make sense if you don't understand how you got there. Because what it would be is enabling mistakes in past administrations to keep happening. And do we want that? For those who plan to continue in their corruption or don't want to accept accountability, they'd be the ones to suggest something like this, because what it does is, from 2023 onwards, we move. But from 2023 up to 2023, we don't say anything. So who then gets away with what they've put the current situation in? And because, let's be fair, administration, they're not the most accountable or the most responsible. Trust they will start referring to the past administrations and as to how this person was useless, this person did this person did that. It's not going to work. Put what you think, and don't forget to like and subscribe.